Closed captioning for News 12 is brought to you by Kenneth Nugent. From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
It is a murder charge that was supposed to set a precedent for overdose deaths.
And we have an opportunity to rewrite the narrative. And we have an opportunity to send a very strong message to these people that are out there killing our loved ones.
Now the district attorney could be walking it back.
And let's talk about this heat, because we know you are. With temperatures reaching 100 degrees out there, it's getting to be dangerously hot. We're going to take a look at resources to help keep you safe. But first, we know that heat is set to stick around all week long, reaching levels we haven't seen since August of 2020.
So let's send it straight over to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. And Riley, what exactly are we looking at here?
Yeah, we're looking at temperatures that feel like. Have a look at some storm chances in that 7-day in just about 10 minutes.
A gun brandished at the Augusta Mall and 2 young men killed in separate shootings. Those events mark another violent weekend in Augusta. Family and loved ones putting up 2 new memorials to remember the lives of Logan Ederle and Jaquan Gunter. Those 2 men lost their lives just hours apart early Sunday morning. Officials say the first happened just after 2 in the morning at 10th and Broad Street downtown. That's where 21-year-old Ederle was shot. The coroner's office pronounced him dead just before 3 a.m. Just hours later, 19-year-old Jaquan Gunter died at the scene of another fatal shooting at 11th Avenue and Grand Boulevard right near Carrie Mays Park. The sheriff's office says it's not clear whether those 2 shootings are related.
And tonight, a family is making an 11th hour plea to the Columbia County District Attorney to reconsider a possible plea deal in a murder case.
And it's not just any murder case. Colin McGill's arrest was the first of its kind in Columbia County. Back in February, a grand jury indicted him on murder charges in the overdose of Alex King. McGill is accused of selling King pills laced with fentanyl.
This was supposed to send a powerful message to drug dealers, but 4 months later, King's family is worried the DA is about to take it all back. Alex King's stepfather sat down with our own I-Team's Meredith Anderson for an exclusive interview.
Tonight, he says his family has a broken heart after what appears to be a change of heart by Columbia County District Attorney Bobby Christine, especially after the DA called this news conference to make an example out of this case.
Why are we pursuing murder charges in a case like this? Because it is my belief that in some communities, lawbreakers don't know where the red line in the sand is.
Alex King's stepfather was standing right next to DA Bobby Christine back in February when it appeared he had drawn that line, announcing murder charges for the man accused of selling the 28-year-old a deadly dose of fentanyl. But now he says he learned the DA is offering Colin McGill a plea deal.
How did you feel?
It was devastating. It was devastating.
Lugo says the deal he finds devastating is for McGill to be able to plead guilty to distributing fentanyl instead of murder. A charge like that could carry anywhere from 5 to 30 years in prison, a decision ultimately made by a judge.
I'm sure he has a very difficult choice to make. And I'm here to build the support for the community, to impress on him that we support you. You came in very strong. I want you to stand by your words.
Lugo saw those words as a promise to the community, but also to his family that some good could come of Alex's death.
And God willing, prevent more parents from receiving such tragic news.
I want them to send the message that if you do this, we're going to come after you. We're not going to let you plead down, because that diminishes what happens to those loved ones that we have that are poisoned by these drugs.
According to the Prescription Drug Abuse Policy System, only 23 states and the District of Columbia have explicit drug-induced homicide laws. Georgia is not one of them. But even if DA Christine tried this as a murder case and lost, Lugo prefers that to a plea deal and hopes the DA would agree.
At least I would think you would look inside yourself and say, we gave it a battle and we did the right thing.
Lugo believes the deal expires tomorrow, so He hopes DA Christine takes it off the table before then. Now, I did reach out to Bobby Christine. He did not confirm or deny any of this, but in an email he said, "The status of the case is trial pending. We continue to prepare for trial. As with all cases, negotiations may be a part of that process. Of course, I'll keep you posted."
We know you'll be tracking it for us, Meredith. Thank you. Back to the hot temperatures this week. Of course, they can be dangerous. Sloan O'Cone followed up with doctors, emergency services, and the Salvation Army about resources.
And how you can stay a step ahead of all of this heat. She joins us live now from Salvation Army Center of Hope, where they're allowing people to keep cool during the day. So, Sloan, what have you seen today out there? A lot of people?
There's definitely been a lot of people outside. Now, the Salvation Army says there hasn't been too many people inside yet, but they will be open throughout the day and throughout the night. Now, all of the officials I've spoken to today said the two most important things to do this week: make sure you stay hydrated. Even if you aren't thirsty, make sure you're still drinking that water, and avoid being out in the sun from 11 to 3. And if you need somewhere to go with AC, the Center of Hope stores will be open throughout the rest of the week, throughout the day, and throughout the night. And the Salvation Army says they will not turn you away. No one should be stuck outside in the triple digits. That's why the Salvation Army says if you're hoping to get out of the heat and find relief, look no further. Their staff is working around the clock to provide water, food, keep the center clean, and make sure you have somewhere cool to stay, because it's only getting hotter.
The biggest thing I would say is that we're talking about this today. The reality is that this is going to be a message throughout this week.
The Salvation Army says things are calm inside right now, but they're ready for an influx if people need them. Because the harsh reality is, some of our most vulnerable populations are the most at risk for heat-related illnesses: elderly, young children, and pregnant women.
Be very wary about what's going on around us.
Professor Coffin says, look out for them and yourself.
Be aware of what your body is telling you.
Look out for dizziness, confusion, cramping, or cool, clammy skin. And some of these suggestions may seem obvious, but make sure you're drinking tons of water. Try to wear light-colored and lightweight clothing. Stay indoors or in the shade.
Because it is very hot, it is very humid. Make sure that you're checking with your local TV station about the weather.
And our First Alert weather team will be on your side all week long with the most up-to-date forecast, so make sure you're tuning back in to stay safe. And the Salvation Army is having a box fan drive this week. They've been having it for a few weeks. They say not a lot of people have donated so far, so if you are able to, drop one of those fans off at the Kroc Center or right here at the Center of Hope.
Sloan, thanks. Good advice, especially that hydration. You got to stay ahead of it with heat this intense. Thanks for the live update there. Wanted to mention this map to you with 10 different cooling locations all around Augusta, parks, rec buildings, all across Richmond County. They all have slightly different hours, but they're all open during the hottest part of the day. We have a link to this map on the website. When you find this story, click on it and you can have a closer look. Parents at work, kids out of school, we're seeing even more of a demand for our local summer camps than before the pandemic. It's coming up here on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Well, Daniel Field got up to 103 today. We're expecting temperatures to feel even hotter tomorrow. We'll have an update on this hot forecast just after the break.
Time. Stephen Kendrick, Mayor of Augusta, different statewide.
Here's a heads up for you if you're crossing I-20 at the state line tonight as we give you a live look at that huge sprawling construction project. Those crews are going to be closing the left lane on I-20 eastbound heading into South Carolina. They're going to be out there working from 9 to 9 until 7 o'clock in the morning. So slow down, be careful if you're heading that way. They usually do this kind of work overnight, but with this kind of weather, that really is a blessing for those crews.
Absolutely. And if you are out on the roads, we know your air conditioning is working overtime right now.
Absolutely.
It is scorching hot. It's been a long time since we've been this hot.
It's been a couple years. We actually got up to 103 today at Daniel Field. That's the first time we've been over 100 at Daniel Field since October of 2019.
That's wild.
So close to 2.5 years, almost 3, and it's been since August 2020 to where Bushfield actually did get up to 100. We stayed just shy of 100 at Bushfield this afternoon, but expecting Sunday. For tomorrow, there could be a few isolated storms. It's not going to be a widespread risk. Slightly better storm chances on Wednesday. But if you do see the rain, we'll help cool you down just a little bit.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. School is out. We know those summer camps are back. Parents, if you haven't signed your kids up already, you may have some trouble finding a spot out there.
It's competitive this summer. Will Rio shows us some campers in action and brings us what makes this year a little different.
Summer camps around the CSRA look and sound a lot like that, and they're overflowing with kids. The Family YMCA of Greater Augusta says they've even had to open up their Riverfront YMCA location just to support the community.
This last year we have definitely seen an increase in participation with kids.
James Thomas is the district vice president for the Family Y of Greater Augusta. He says they're seeing more families now than they were before COVID took over.
Anytime that we have more kids, we try to reach out and find more space and to meet the needs of our community.
Thomas says they've had to turn some families away and pull resources from other departments to stay open.
We do have to turn some away because of our staffing issues, but we are still a higher number than we have been before COVID.
Tanisha Sharp is the executive director of the Family Y in Richmond County. She's worked to bring an enrichment program to locations in the CSRA.
And those programs range from dance, art, drama, to STEAM activities.
She says she wants to provide an affordable place for under-resourced families and help close the learning loss gap.
Our kids need a safe space, and not just that, our families need an affordable space where they can, they know their kids are going to receive homework help, enrichment, tutoring.
They have 14 after-school sites open, and they're looking to expand those this coming school year.
It has really been instrumental in our kids being able to have access to careers that they may be interested in and just find their passion in other opportunities.
In Augusta, Will Rio on your side.
And the Family Y says if you're interested in sending your child to a summer camp, they may have space, so go to their website, see if you can sign up if you're still searching for that camp.
Good to see them playing indoors today with the AC blasting.
So high. Yeah, it is.
We love the outdoors, but this week is an exception.
Yeah. Strengthening the community with good food, how you can support Black-owned restaurants hit hard by the pandemic, ahead on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
The live
New restaurants, new recipes. Last year's inaugural Black Restaurant Week was so successful, it's back again this year.
And the celebration kicks off today, and this is a map with a look at all the places participating. 19 different spots to go get food from Augusta to Aiken, Evans, and Grovetown.
Claire Allen shows us why organizers and business owners say this year will be even better than the last.
More than 20 restaurants are part of the second annual Augusta Black Restaurant Week. Karen Gordon organized the event and says this is a way to highlight Black businesses while enjoying a good meal.
I want folks to come out and enjoy these restaurants, especially this week. We switched the timing so that it would coincide with Juneteenth week. I want folks to explore, try something new, and then keep coming back. And then, of course, tell other people. Bring some people with you.
Last year, the week focused on getting customers into brick-and-mortar restaurants. This year, they are spotlighting private chefs like Reginald White, who owns Black Lotus Cuisine.
Lotus flower in the Japanese culture, it tends to be, is represented as this strong, resistant flower because it grows in swampy, dirty water, even though it comes out to be this beautiful flower. And I feel like for African Americans or anybody who is struggling in life, they can also be a lotus flower.
White started his mobile catering company 2 years ago. He's inspired by his love for anime and found a way to combine that with Black culture.
For $15 per person will actually come to your home. You get an appetizer. You get to actually customize your bowl of ramen. It's kind of a fusion between two different cultures into one.
Gordon says many small Black businesses are typically undercapitalized and underfunded. They need your help to prosper.
That a lot of our small Black businesses did not get the attention, didn't get the relief that some of the other majority-owned businesses were able to enjoy.
Looks really amazing.
God, it makes me hungry this time
I'm telling you what.
But lots of good names on there. I've been trying to check out Brunch House, so definitely something to explore for everybody. And to make it even easier for you to find them and get to all the restaurants, we posted a list of bus routes to get you there. You can find that by searching this story on Wrdw.com.
Politics now. Early voting is
on your sideline. Sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
It is another big week in golf. Players gearing up for the U.S. Open, the first tournament where we'll see PGA Tour guys and LIV guys teeing it up together. Today, Phil Mickelson spoke to the media As you can imagine, he got peppered with questions. Phil answered questions ranging from course conditions during his practice round to what it was like getting letters from the families of victims of 9/11 who wonder how he could join the LIV Golf Tour. The USGA is letting everyone who qualified for this year's US Open play regardless of what tour they're on, but the PGA Tour has indefinitely suspended Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, and everyone else who jumped ship to LIV. Mickelson says if he had it his way, he'd be able to play events on both tours and continue to play in the majors.
I feel that, as I was saying to Ann, I gave as much back to the PGA Tour and the game of golf that I could throughout my 30 years here. And through my accomplishments on the course, I've earned a lifetime membership. I intend to keep that and then choose going forward which events to play and not.
PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan doubled down on the Tour's decision this weekend, saying the PGA Tour brings out the best pure competition in golf. Finally this evening, Daniel Suarez made some history yesterday, winning the Toyota Save Smart 350. Suarez becomes the first Mexican driver to ever win a NASCAR race. Riley?
Hey, good for Dave. That's a big win there. Historic as well. For the weekend, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-90s, so finally some relief from these 100-degree days we have in store this week. Look at that 7-day just after the break.